Hi friends, welcome to Storytime on the Back Porch. I'm Lisa Spencer and these are my furry friends. This is Lila who's very excited today. This is Litzy and this is Lucy. Today's story is about something that happens to a lot of us. Do you ever put both of your socks in the laundry basket and then when they come out of the dryer, you only have one sock? What happens to those socks? Well, today's story is about just that. It's called Sassy Sisters versus the Sock Monster, and I'm so excited because it is written by a local author. Her name is Jacquese Groves, and the pictures are drawn by Krine Makartichan. Let's find out what happens to that sock.
One night, when Mommy and Daddy were folding the laundry, I heard her tell him that the sock monster got our socks again. The sock monster? I whispered. I ran upstairs to my big sister's room. I'm going to see a monster about some socks. Wanna come? She laughed and said, "What are you talking about, Sydney?" I heard Mommy tell Daddy that the sock monster got our socks again. So I'm going to find him and get our socks back. She didn't seem too sure about my plan, but since she's my best friend, she said, "Let's go, sister girl." We tiptoed downstairs, past Mommy and Daddy, and into the laundry room. "So what's the plan if we find the sock monster?" Kennedy whispered. "We're going to get our socks back, obviously. Are you scared?" "It takes a lot more than a monster to scare me." Kennedy laughed and said, "Okie dokie, I think we need a flashlight." Kennedy stood on the stepladder and grabbed the flashlight. Then we opened the dryer and climbed in. "Turn on the flashlight," I said. Kennedy turned on the light and we both gasped. There really was a sock monster, and it was a girl. I thought monsters were boys. "Jumping jacks!" the monster exclaimed. "Who are you and what are you doing in here?" "I'm Sydney, and this is my big sister, Kennedy. This is our dryer, and you're stealing our socks." The monster looked surprised and hurt. "No, I'm not." "Then what's that on your head?" Sydney asked. This? My hat?" "That's not a hat. That's my sister's favorite yellow sock." "Socks?" "Yes. Why are you stealing our socks?" Kennedy asked. "I'm not stealing your socks, whatever those are. You're stealing my hats." "How did you get in here?" Kennedy asked. She pointed to an opening in the bottom of the dryer. "I'd never noticed that before." "You've got some explaining to do, Missy," Kennedy said. "All right. I was just trying to keep my head warm," the sock monster said. "I'll give you back your so-called socks, but only under one condition." "What is it?" Kennedy asked. "Don't tell your Mommy and Daddy you saw me in here." "Only if you promise not to steal any more of our socks," Kennedy said. "Promise, no more stealing." "Good. Now give them back," Sydney said. "No can do. I'll put them back when your Mommy puts more clothes in the dryer. I want to make sure you don't tell." "How do we know you'll give them back?" Sydney asked. "You'll just have to believe me." "No way," Kennedy snapped. "We don't trust you because you've been stealing." "Okay, I guess that's fair. I'll give them back, but you got to turn around." "Why?" Sydney asked. "I don't want you to see where I hide them, lady." "Come on, Sydney, let's just turn around," Kennedy said. "It's hot in here and I'm ready to get out." "Okay, sis," Sydney said. We turned around. We heard the monster making some noise, and then she said, "Okay, you can look now." She was holding the missing mates to 6 pair of our socks. I grabbed them and slipped them in my pocket. Can I keep the hat I'm wearing? No, and it's not a hat, Kennedy said. But since you promised to stop stealing, you can have the ones I'm wearing after Mommy puts them in the dryer. They're getting too small. She looked at Kennedy's socks, and her face lit up. Deal! We shook hands with the sock monster, and Kennedy and I climbed out of the dryer. Just as we closed the dryer door, Mommy came into the laundry room. What are you girls up to? Oh, nothing, Mommy. We were just looking for the sock monster. Mommy shook her head and laughed. Okay, girls, did you find him? The girls looked at each other, and Sydney spoke first. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But don't worry, Kennedy said. I don't think any more of our socks will go missing.
Have you ever thought about there being a sock monster in the dryer? Well, don't go looking in the dryer for the sock monster, but that's a funny story. Sassy Sisters versus the Sock Monster by Jacquese Groves. This is a cute story, and we have more great stories. You can catch them anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel.